All right, here at the home, just want to do a quick walkthrough of what we're looking at. So we'd be looking at all the trim work. So gutters, downspouts, all your soffit, fascia boards, the brick work as well. We would be talking about the brick. So we'd be using Luxon XP primer. It's a masonry primer for the initial coat on the brick, and that would be sprayed and back rolled into the brick, and then two coating using one of the two options, either super paint or duration. You'll have two options moving forward. The front door would be painted. We're leaving the windows alone since those are clad windows, but all the woodwork, you can see where there's some areas where some mildew has built up, especially on the underneath sides of these downspouts or these gutters. So we'll make sure we power wash really well before we paint. As we walk around, we'll kind of look at some of the areas of concern. So again, you've got quite a bit of mildew and algae growth on these gutters, so we'll need to power wash these really well, get them cleaned up. Same thing down here, you've got a little bit of dirt and debris that's kicked up from runoff, so need to make sure we wash those really well. Also caulk around the windows, make sure those are sealed up against the brick before we paint the brick. On the back side here, you've got more siding and brick. You've also got a chimney up here that would be repainted. It looks like the cap is rusting a little bit, so we'll have to use a rust inhibitive primer up there. The deck will be a separate quote. So the way I quoted it was for everything. The homeowner and I did speak about the floor and the treads being replaced with maybe some sort of a composite material. So the price may need to be adjusted for that. But the quote that I'm giving you is for everything as is. So I will be happy to adjust the quote as needed. But you can see the deck floor is going to need some extensive prep. So power washing it, scraping it, and priming it before we stain it. And then you've got the rails up here. So that quote will be separate. And get a good view of the whole deck here and the stairs. And there is a ceiling underneath the deck as well that we would do. This pergola is also something that would be quoted separately. It is in a metal or aluminum pergola, so it needs to be washed really well. And you can use a DTM, you can use Surecryl and Procryl. The reason I say that is you've got some pretty significant rusting here. So you can use Bondo to fix that. We can repair those areas that have rusted out significantly, seal them up, and then prime and paint them. So you'll see that in various places around. So that's there. It's mostly on these ledges here, stuff like that. So then we'll walk up to the ceiling on the deck. You've got the ceiling underneath here and the columns for the deck. Then you've also got the brick down here. You will see areas like this where you've got cracking along those joint lines. We'll re-caulk all of those, make sure everything's sealed up for you all the way around the house before we paint. Again, we'll make sure that we re-caulk along these windows. Even though we're not painting the windows, we want to make sure the windows are sealed up so that moisture doesn't get in there and cause any peeling in the future. Again, making sure we power wash these, get the brick as clean as possible before we paint. And then you've got this side over here, you've got more brick and siding. Again, this overhang, need to make sure we power wash that really well to get it cleaned up. Re-caulk all of those joint lines around the house. Again, re-caulking any of these joint lines that we see, making sure the home's all sealed up. You may potentially have a board that needs to be replaced right there in the corner. So I'll put a price there for you so you have that. And then most of the other stuff is just re-caulking all these joint lines, making sure everything's sealed up, scraped, primed. Same thing down here, making sure we're caulking all of these areas like that. And then you've got some peeling on this door here. So we'll need to scrape and prime the bottom of these doors here. And then this is the last little section. You've got a little bit of siding up there, and then this bottom portion of trim, brick, and the two garage doors. So If you have any questions, please let me know. I will also include a price for replacing these weather stripping, this weather seal on the garage. I don't know that we're going to be able to tack that back in, so I'll put a price to replace the garage seals as well for you on this big garage door. So let me know if you have any questions. I'll be happy to help any way that I can. Thank you.